Kennedy Jacks, and I'm a freshman at Regis Jesuit High School. And I'm so excited to be able to introduce Danielle Grant from 9 News.
Thank you so much, Kennedy. And let me welcome you all to the 2020 Cystic Fibrosis Foundation Rocky Mountain Breath of Life Virtual Gala. It is a very special night because, for once, all of us, our entire community, can attend the gala. As you know, to protect their health, we only allow one person with CF to attend our in-person events. So it is my pleasure to welcome you, Kennedy, and all the others with CF who are joining us tonight. First, just a bit of background on me, and I've been a part of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, helping out with the Rocky Mountain chapter really for about the past several years. I've been involved with the stair climb, so much fun out at Mile High, of course, the fabulous chefs events in the summertime. Those are always so delicious and such a hoot. And recently, this past winter and spring, I was a part of the finest class of 2020. We were just finishing up our campaign and raising money for a cure right when the pandemic hit. So a big shout out to everyone that was a part of that class and raised money in just such unprecedented times. I can't wait until we're all back together and we can celebrate all of the success. Having you all with us tonight really is just a bright spot in what has been such a tough year. And we are just so thrilled to not only have our CF families together, but also our extended family. You are the people who have supported us and shown so much care and love for us at our gala year after year. We have missed, of course, all of you, and we are so happy to have you join us tonight. Here is one special member of that extended family, Ryan Tedder from One Republic.
Hi to everyone in Colorado. I know this has been a challenging time for everybody, and this year's event looks quite different, very different, in fact. However, I understand that there is an upside to all of this craziness and that the entire CF extended family can finally be together for the 65th anniversary of the foundation, albeit virtually like I am now. I want to say a huge congratulations and a huge thank you to all the staff, volunteers, committee members, research teams, families, frontline workers for all the great achievements made in the last year. It has been a phenomenal year in the way of medical advancement, and it's through your efforts that Trikafta became available, and it couldn't have come at a more crucial time. What an accomplishment. A medicine that helps 90% of all CF kids and adults to become available during the time of COVID in 2020. Finally, there's a silver lining to 2020. Thank you. One of the bright spots, one of the brightest spots to be celebrated in what I would consider to be the weirdest year of all of our natural lives. So I'd like to say, stay strong, stay safe, and stay positive. You've got a huge extended family pulling for you. Wishing you all the best from me and One Republic. Love you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. That was such a great start to our evening. Another reason this is such a special night is that this year we celebrate 65 years since the CF Foundation was established. 65 has been an important number to the foundation for many years, since Mary Weiss's 4-year-old son Richard coined the term 65 roses, as he thought that was the disease he was fighting. Some other highlights include the establishment of the Care Center Network in 1961, identifying the CF gene in 1989, the development of Pulmozyme, the first CF-specific drug in 1993, the approval of the first aerosolized antibiotic in 1997, the creation and improvement of the vest through the last 30 years, and of course the life-changing modulators beginning with Kalydeco in 2012, Orkambi in 2015, Symdeko in 2018, and of course Trikafta in 2019. The fact that 4 modulators have been approved in the last 8 years is a true miracle to anyone who has a loved one with CF. And then in September of this year alone, Trikafta studies in 6 to 11-year-olds have shown positive results, and Kalydeco has been approved by the FDA for infants as young as 4 months. So tonight, I not only want to raise a glass and toast to the past 65 years of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, but also to the 10% of our CF population who do not yet have a modulator available to them. We see you, and we are here for you until a cure is available for everyone. Here's a special treat for all of us tonight.
Good evening. I'm Melanie Adams, Chair of the Advisory Board for the Rocky Mountain Chapter. I want to welcome everybody here tonight, wherever you may be joining us from. I'm here with my husband, my fellow advisory board, wine committee, and gala supporters. We are fortunate to be able to connect all of our chapter states, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and New Mexico. Thank you for joining us for a celebration and an evening together with our entire CF community. We want to raise a glass and share a toast to 65 years of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and 15 years of the Rocky Mountain Breath of Life Gala. Cheers.
Cheers.
Now let's listen to a message from the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's president, Dr. Michael Boyle.
Greetings, and thank you for joining us. While we all find ourselves at a distance, it does not change the fact that the CF community remains close in spirit. Now more than ever, we are so grateful that we can come together to connect, share stories, and celebrate the achievements that you have made possible. You know, the pandemic has changed our lives in dramatic ways, but it has not deterred the foundation from the relentless pursuit of our mission to serve people with CF and their families and eventually cure CF. We are steadfast in our scientific work to advance our Path to a Cure initiative with innovative research efforts, and we continue to work hand in hand with care centers across the country to ensure that people with CF receive the best care possible. As we celebrate all that we've achieved together over these past 65 years, every contribution helps. It helps advance the mission and, most importantly, changes lives. Your generosity during this challenging time will help us stay the course and provide the best support we can to those living with CF. Every one of you, every volunteer, every donor, every sponsor, every CF fighter is critical to our success. Thank you for your continued support. Together we will make CF stand for Cure Found.
Thank you so much, Dr. Boyle. We are so grateful for your leadership, and we are all committed to the goal of finding a cure for CF. Tonight, we have three incredible members of our CF community here with us to share their perspectives. Piper Beatty-Welsh, Dr. Bill Elder Jr., and Dr. Jennifer Taylor-Kauser. Thank you all so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about your CF story.
Thank you. Just to give a quick overview of my story, I want to speak to everybody in the room tonight. So, to everyone who is watching this, thanks to all of your support over the years, I have achieved my dream of becoming a doctor despite having cystic fibrosis, and now I'm helping to treat COVID patients in a global pandemic. To give you a little bit of the longer version, I was diagnosed with CF when I was 8 years old, and this was when I was living up in Genesee, Colorado. And I wanted to know everything I could about CF when I was diagnosed. Thankfully, my physician at the time was Dr. Franco Curso, and he patiently taught me everything he could about the way the CFTR actually worked. This inspired me to become a scientist and eventually would inspire me to want to become a doctor. Now, just a quick reality check here. So in the mid-90s, the average time to complete your medical training, or the average age at which you complete your medical training, was actually greater than the life expectancy for a CF patient then. Now, it was kind of a wild idea to want to become a doctor, but because of the IV drip of hope due to the research from the CF Foundation and everyone who was supporting it, I took a chance on my dream. And in the summer before starting medical school, Kalydeco was approved and it transformed my life. I went from being hospitalized in the past and constantly, getting little illnesses all the time to being extremely healthy. And I completed medical school, I completed residency out here in California, and I have been very healthy ever since. It has helped me, I've been so healthy that I've been able to actually help with medical care during the wildfires in Northern California, and right now I'm helping with telehealth for COVID patients. So at the heart of it, you have made my dream come true. And I know with your support, we can help make this reality the case for all CF patients.
Well, thanks, Bill. That's so inspiring to hear. My name is Piper, and I'll actually turn 39 with cystic fibrosis later this month. I think as Bill touched on, it's just such an honor for me to be here with all of you tonight, because it really is you and your support of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation that is the reason that so many of us with CF are here living our dreams despite this disease. Now, Bill told you about how he was inspired by Dr. Curso to become a physician. In my case, I have a slightly different story. My father's a lawyer, and I like to say that that's my second genetic disease. But I will notice that nobody ever thought that that was possible. I was diagnosed back in 1981 at the age of 6 weeks old. And at that point, the doctors literally told my parents to just take her home and love her as long as you have her. Thankfully, my parents, like so many of you here tonight, I always say CF parents don't know the meaning of putting aside your dreams. For me, one of those dreams was graduating law school, which I did in 2007. And yet, through all of that, I would never have been able to achieve those goals were it not for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation being there with me every step of the way. As an example, even with all of the advancements, the work of the CF Foundation has really always been critical, and it's been very urgent in my own life. Just a couple of years after law school, my lungs failed due to persistent infections, and I was put on the lung transplant list. My doctors at that time told me that there was very little chance of survival of me making it to transplant without a miracle. But thanks to events exactly like this one tonight, that miracle came in the form of a brand new developed antibiotic, which is now known as Caistin. For me, that provided the very last minute hope that actually allowed me to make it to transplant. And that's why I know that if drugs like the ones that we fund are even 1 year behind in development, they might not be available for people when they need them. These days, I continue to rely on the foundation to fund new therapies, but I've also altered my dreams a little bit. I've left law, and I'm now honored to say that after my transplant, I decided to change my career and return to work for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation in the Community Partnerships Department.
So my CF story actually started during my training. I took care of people with CF during internship and residency and just became really, really interested in the idea of taking care of people for their entire lives. So I continued to do that, but what also became incredibly clear during training was that it wasn't just the CF Care Center model that made such a difference, but the model where people actually dedicated specific time to doing clinical research to improve the lives of people with CF. So that really drew me into this field, and I've been in the field since, well, basically the late 90s.
Our theme tonight is celebrating everyone together. What does that mean for you? JTC, we'll start with you first.
I think it means a couple of things to me. One, obviously, people with CF usually can't be in the room together, and so we usually, over the last 5 to 10 years, have only had one person with CF in the room. And in this venue, for better or for worse, we now can actually have a whole community of people together in one room, which is amazing. I think the other thing that I think about when I think of togetherness in CF is just the way that we work together with people with CF in the clinic, for example. Our whole team is built by the CF Foundation. So we have respiratory therapists, and we have social workers and dietitians and physicians, and we all work together as a team in partnership with people with CF to help them have longer and healthier lives. I mean, the other thing that I think of is that we work together really closely with our research team. So we have the power of the energy of people with CF and their community and their families, and we have the doctors and the nurses and everybody else. And then we have the researchers who are all working together to make sure that we can find an effective therapy for everybody with CF.
As JTC said, we haven't been able to have a gala where we could have multiple CF patients in the past, and that's kind of unique for most organizations. So I just want to say this is an incredible opportunity for our community to come together. And to all the people who are watching this, who are joining us with CF and their families, I just want to say it's so good to see you. I'm so glad we're all here together. We have a vibrant community, and this is really a chance for us all to share a special moment together. So thank you for joining us, and we care about you all so much.
I think to me, celebrating together means recognizing that our community is in this together for the long haul. Cystic fibrosis is sometimes talked about as a disease that has really changed the face of medicine, not just for people with CF, but for people suffering from all sorts of genetic diseases, and was even mentioned in the State of the Union address once by President Obama. All of that is because of our community. It's because of the patients and the families, the clinicians, the researchers, and all of the people who come out to support us. I think every one of you is vital to the success that we celebrate tonight. And that's really what community means to me.
Three very special members of our community to honor tonight. I'm going to turn things over back to Piper and Bill to talk about them.
Each year, my family has sponsored the Courage Award, which is given to an adult patient selected by our fabulous team at National Jewish Health. Normally, we honor this person at the Rocky Mountain's finest event, which we hold in the spring. But unfortunately, this year, that was one of the first chapter events to fall casualty to COVID. However, the silver lining to all that is that I get to be here to virtually present Michael with his award tonight. Let's all hear some more about him.
I would describe Mike as more of a quiet warrior.
Always had symptoms like allergies. Did the sweat chloride test and then, of course, went from there, and that was at 14. So I do remember the diagnosis day, and I remember my poor mother crying because, of course, at that time it was still a childhood disease because most everybody died at a young age. You know, I can say it was kind of a denial. It's like, I feel so good. I play hockey all my life at a very high level, made it all the way up into semi-pro hockey. And so you think to yourself, well, how can I have this disease when I feel this good?
He has had some ups and downs, and the downs he handles with such grace.
It slowly deteriorates your lungs because you're kind of under a constant infection. Started having more issues, realized, holy, I can't do as much as I used to, get winded, get tired. In my early 20s, I only weighed like 135 pounds, way too skinny. And then I met, my wonderful wife who helped me, realize that I do need to take this serious.
Every year we pick someone in our patient population that we feel deserves a Courage Award.
Oh, thank you.
And this year we voted, and this year you won.
And I think what really sets him apart is he has a sense of humbleness and humility and courage to admit when things aren't going right.
He works, out of prison, which, it's not an easy job, if you don't have a chronic disease, but he has, lower lung function.
He's somebody who loves to travel, and so that's something that we've been working on is how do we connect you to the things that are most important to you? Treatments are important. The quality of life, though, is more important.
He started on this new drug, Trikafta, and I sent him a message saying, how's it going? And he said, frickin' great. My lungs feel so clear, no more cracking, no more short of breath.
It's changed people's lives already in a very short amount of time.
It must be rewarding to see their hard efforts really pay off in us living longer.
When you have somebody like Mike who truly cares back for those of us who care for him, it is really something special.
Such a hardworking man, and he really tries not to let CF stop him. He loves his daughter, he loves his wife. He is just a really, really solid individual, and we wanted to honor all the work that he has done in his life.
Wow, what an amazing story of courage. Congratulations, Michael, and thank you for all that you do. Now, let me turn the floor over to Bill Elder.
Thanks, Piper. If you've been at the gala before, you'll recognize the Superhero Award presented by my family. This award is given to a pediatric patient that is selected by the Children's Hospital team. Tonight, we are honoring two brothers, Malik and Kaori. Let's watch this video about them.
They are just sweet and gentle and kind boys that take great care of themselves and love each other and love their mom.
Malik was born with an intestinal obstruction, which is seen in individuals or people with cystic fibrosis.
Kaori's pediatrician was with me, and he said we need to test her other son too because he hasn't been growing. And so we went and sweat tested Kaori, and then sure enough, he had it as well.
So they both have type 1 diabetes. They both have asthma. No question, this was an incredibly challenging and overwhelming time for her.
They have to take medications. They kind of get singled out a little bit for their differences.
Just very resilient. They are adaptable and willing to be honest and open about things that are difficult and things that they're struggling with, but also other parts of their life outside of CF and diabetes and their medical challenges.
I've been there involved with them for research, and they ask really good questions about the research projects and excited to participate.
I have a great family system, so that's been awesome. My mom stepped up, but the kids have made it easy. They take it in stride.
I am genuinely excited to see Malik and Kaori, but I don't get the sense that the feeling is mutual.
He's such a great doctor, and he does really good at getting to know the family and being there for the family. And there was a couple years that were really hard on us.
They have a mom who, no matter what, is in their corner. She's very honest. She always puts the boys first.
Don't even know if there's words. She is the superhero of the superheroes.
It's extraordinary what she does.
Hey, surprise! We're so thrilled to honor you two. My wife Teresa's going to tell you about the goodies.
There's some cash that goes along with this award, so a little cha-ching for you each.
These Malik and Kaori and Mom Katie are super deserving, and we thank you for doing this for them.
It's our honor. It's a big honor for us to do this. What an amazing family. We're just in awe of you guys.
I'm back with our fabulous 3 speakers tonight. It was so inspiring to hear about Michael, Malik, and Kaori. And we talked earlier all about the incredible achievements that the foundation has made possible today. But what does the future hold, and what's still needed?
So obviously in the US, we've been incredibly lucky because we had the early approval of Trikafta before we even expected it. And that has made such a huge difference in this tumultuous year of 2020. So of course, approximately 90% of people in the US have one copy of F508del. And Trikafta is currently available for people down to the age of 12. As you mentioned earlier, we received really good news last month saying that the phase 3 study in children 6 to 11 was done, and it looks good, it looks safe, the results are very promising. So hopefully soon we'll be able to treat even down to age 6, but what we really, really want to do is be able to treat from the time of diagnosis. So of course, ivacaftor here in the US is approved down to age 4 months, but it would be great if someone got diagnosed and we could immediately start a highly effective therapy so that we could prevent some of the complications that we see in people with CF. In addition to that, of course, there are 10% of people who do not have a highly effective therapy, and there'll be some people who can't tolerate Trikafta. So we really need to continue to raise money to do research to find therapies for every single person, even if they have a really rare mutation. Now, in the US, again, we're really lucky because the Federal Drug Administration actually approved some expansion of, for example, the Kalydeco label so that we could use it not just for people with G551D, but also other mutations. And the thing is that they're now doing the same kind of work in cells to see if we can expand Trikafta to people based on the work that's being done in cells. So that's another really important area of research that's continuing to be ongoing. We need to continue to develop therapies to treat the complications. So Trikafta is amazing and has been life-changing for so many people, but there are still some people who are going to need other therapies like antibiotics and things like Pulmozyme, and we need to continue to develop therapies in that arena. And then finally, we need to make sure that everybody in the US has access to these medications regardless of their genotype, regardless of their socioeconomic status. We want to make sure that every single person with CF has a highly effective therapy.
The future is bright, but there's still a lot of work to do, as JTC said. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation took a moonshot with Kalydeco and Trikafta, and it worked. But that rocket wasn't able to help all patients with CF. So you know what? Let's enter a space age. Let's launch every research rocket we can to ensure that every CF patient around the world as a medication that allows them to live their life to the fullest. Now more than ever, your donation is important. Your donation will help us get to the future. You have made all of this progress possible, and you can make the future happen too. Thank you for all you do.
Those are wonderful answers, and I echo all of those needs as well. I also feel like as people with CF continue to live longer and we continue to reimagine what's possible, it's going to be vital to support our community through these transitions. I know it's so encouraging to me personally that the foundation is committed to issues like enhancing care models, mental health, ensuring that public policy keeps pace with all of our outstanding medical developments, and meeting the evolving needs of people with CF and our families every single day. Personally, I'm extremely inspired by people that I meet with CF, with cystic fibrosis. Through your creativity and the resilience of our community, there's just no doubt in my mind that together we can push this work over the finish line. One of our mottos at the foundation is to be there with each other until it's done. And so tonight I renew my pledge to all of you, and I hope that you'll join me in sticking together until it's done. Thank you.
Tonight, we all have the opportunity to help make the future our speaker so aptly described a reality. Through generous donors who have made their contributions prior to tonight's event, I am delighted to announce we have already raised, get this, $330,000. Wow. Which, all of that includes a $100,000 challenge from 4 incredible families, the Elders, the Beatties, the Colberts, and the Rollers. Thank you so much to them and to all of you who have accepted the challenge and have donated already. A big thank you to the Elders tonight. We have one more challenge. Tonight, they are challenging you all to raise $25,000. And I know we can do it easily. We will give you a few minutes to contribute using the links through the chat or through the Bid for a Cure option in our auction program. During that time, please enjoy some fantastic talents held by local members of our community, and many of them actually have benefited from treatments and therapies that have been funded by your support in this event in the past. So it's just awesome to see. It's our hope that through continued fundraising, every child and every adult with CF will have the potential to showcase their talents and passions throughout their long and healthy lives.
If I were a rich man, all day long, I'd really blow. If I were a wealthy man.
Russell and I'm 25 years old. Thank you for supporting the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Hi, my name is Zach and I'm 15 years old. Thank you for supporting the CF Foundation.
Hi, I'm Noah Colbert. Thank you, CF Foundation.
Thank you for being here and continuing to support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Hi, my name is Jackson. I am 10 years old. Thank you for all you do.
My name's Sutton. I'm 8 years old. I just want to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Peyton. I'm 7 years old. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Regan and I'm 7 years old.
Hi, I'm Kennedy. I'm 3 years old. And thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is
Mommy is Frankie.
and I'm
4
years old.
Road. Bye-bye.
Thank you all so much for your incredible generosity, truly year in, year out. We know that without your support, we will not stop until we have a cure for 100% of our CF community. I want to remind you all that our silent auction, it's still going on until 9 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. You will be notified by text or email if you have won the items, and then instructions for how to pay. All of that will be included. I'm now joined by Michael Turner, the Executive Director of the Rocky Mountain Chapter. Michael?
Thank you so much, Danielle. We are so grateful to have your support, not only tonight, but throughout the year for so many of our events. We're so appreciative how much you lend us your time, talents, and efforts. I want to thank our amazing sponsors for tonight's event who stepped up in a big way to make sure that we can continue to fundraise to one day make CF stand for Cure Found. The premier sponsor families who made up our pre-event $100,000 challenge, Teresa and Bill Elder, Vicki and Matt Colbert, Jennifer and Dayton Roller, and Kathleen and Mike Beatty. We're all so thankful for your continued support year after year. Our wonderful premier sponsors, Jan and Mike Peters, who supported us from the Pacific Northwest this year, and our platinum sponsors, David and Linda Roller. The gold sponsors, Nicole and Patrick Jacks, Beth and Ron Cooper, Dawn and Bill Herndon, Patty and Bruce Cameron, Patty Klinge and Connie MacArthur, and Abby. Thank you all for your wonderful support of our virtual event this year. Our rose sponsors, Connie and Bruce Campbell, Judy and Garrett Fonda, Leanne and Tom Talbot, and Yvette and Jeff Fonda. Thank you also to our silver sponsors, Carolyn and Mike Asher, Liz and Jim Buckley, Libby and Jim Colbert, Jeannie and Thomas Patterson, Eileen and Richard Greenberg, Patty Huntley and Steve Nelson, and Debbie and Steve Pelican. I want to give a huge thank you to our amazing wine committee led by Marty Davidson and the Rocky Mountain Advisory Board, chaired by Melanie Adams. This year, both groups have continued to support the foundation in tonight's event with great enthusiasm. I also want to do a special thank you to Jamie Adams and the Sorting Table for all of your amazing in-kind support for the gala this year. You helped make tonight a truly special evening for our sponsors. And thank you also to Connie Campbell, Deborah Havens, and Bill Elder, our fantastic gala committee who have worked tirelessly to help bring tonight's event to life. And of course, we need to thank all of our amazing teams at our care centers, the Children's Hospital of Colorado, National Jewish Health, the Billings Clinic, and the University of New Mexico Health Sciences Center. Our entire community is appreciative of your innovative efforts to ensure all people with CF receive the highest quality of care during these times. And finally, thank you so much to everyone watching tonight and everyone in the Rocky Mountain chapter who fundraised, advocated, supported a loved one, or helped our community in any way this year. It hasn't been easy, but the resolve of the community across our chapter has never wavered. It was so wonderful to be together with our entire CFF family tonight, and as you heard, there is still so much to be thankful for with our community, and we will bring that bright future to life together. Now I'll send it back to Danielle to close us out for the evening.
This really has been such a special night for all of us. We are so happy that you've been able to log on and join us here virtually. But before we leave, I want to give this community one more chance to hear from our speakers. What advice would you give to all the people with CF who are here with us tonight?
My advice would be to continue to hope, continue to believe. What we've been able to achieve in such a short period of time is amazing. We've gone from treating just the signs and symptoms of CF to actually treating the basic problem in CF for almost 90% of people with CF. It's just earth-shattering when you think about it. So continue to believe, continue to hope, and with the research that we get supported tonight, we are going to find a highly effective therapy for every single person with CF. We're not stopping until CF stands for Cure Found.
My advice is to never give in when somebody tells you something's impossible. Our community has literally been facing that label since day one. When the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation was founded in 1955, people said that it was a pipe dream. And look at the pipeline that pipe dream has accomplished. We're all here tonight because of the work that you guys have made possible. And I have no doubt that there are many impossibilities left to conquer in our future together.
My advice is to never give up and to follow your dreams. More has been achieved than I ever thought possible when I was first diagnosed, and my life has been transformed as a result. You can become whatever you want to be. Never give up on that. And with all of the support of the CF Foundation and everyone who has donated to CF research, the future is brighter than ever. So believe in yourself and believe in the CF community. We're going to go great places together.
What a wonderful evening this has been. Even though we haven't been together, it's been fantastic to celebrate virtually with you all. And really, we just cannot thank each and every one of you enough for being a part of it. We hope to see you so soon. But until then, stay safe.